Adrian. 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 Adrian.
Earlier this year, I heard a song called Peanut Butter on My Balls, Let the Dog Lick It by Filthy Frank, and so I decided to try it out for myself just in case it was the meta in terms of gooning techniques. But at the time, my dogs weren't home, and so I had to go to my local dog park instead. However, approximately 15 seconds after I unsheathed my dingaling, some random 70-year-old man came sprinting towards me from across the road, did a massive dolphin dive, and gave me the greatest hawk tour I had ever received in my entire life. Anyways, a couple of months ago, I asked you guys for your wildest confessions, and I still haven't finished reading them. During the English exam, I was edging to an image of a woman featured in the story-based question that was worth 24 marks. I was too concentrated on edging for roughly 10 minutes and letting my mind run wild over writing a description story-based question on the image to the point where it flew out of my dingling. But thankfully, I was able to regain concentration and finish writing my description-based question on the image based on the woman. Bro, during the middle of an English exam, this guy's a D1 gooner. No place is safe from him. During a wedding, during a funeral, during a birthday party, during an English exam, he will goon everywhere. But this is worth 24 marks, so this is like 24% of your English exam, which is pretty hefty, and you're wasting 10 minutes gooning, like edging to this random image in the exam. Could you not have just waited until you get home and save that image in your head and just goon at home? Because 10 minutes is quite a lot of time in an exam situation where every minute counts, because you're pretty time pressured. Because that's why back in the day, back when I was in school, back when I was doing exams, my personal strat was to goon the morning of the exam so that I wouldn't this wouldn't happen to me. And I wonder what everyone else sitting next to you was thinking, because in exam halls, everyone is sat kind of close together, and I swear they would have heard you deeply and violently breathing in and out as you edged yourself and gooned and let your homemade special sauce fly out of your dingaling. And so yeah, this is definitely not calm. I think this is slightly questionable. So one day I was cracking my fingers and my other joints, and I had a strange thought. I wondered if I could crack my dingaling. So when it went stiff, I tried it out, and to my surprise, it let out the most crunchy, loud crack I had ever heard. I now crack it every day. You should try it. It will change your life for the better. Bro, are you actually serious? If you try to crack your dingaling, you will snap it in half and it will fall off. What do you mean you cracked it and it let out a crunchy crack? Do not try this at home. This guy's just trying to bait you into doing this. I bet it was the most painful thing you've ever experienced in your entire life. I bet you genuinely thought you could crack your dingaling and you cracked it and you just broke it, and now it's just limp forever. You can never get stiff ever again. So yeah, do not follow these instructions. Never follow these instructions. This is slightly questionable. My grandpa was in the KKK and he was always racist, so this man took me to a history museum, including the KKK when I was younger, and said that I should be part of this. And since I was an impressionable kid, I said, okay, papa. And then he told me to say things to black people, and he said, if you see one of those darkies, you give them fried chicken to calm them, or you call them a watermelon-loving N-word. So I said that exact thing to this random black man with 2 kids and a wife. I was in Milwaukee, by the way. Jesus. I mean, technically it wasn't really your fault because your grandpa, tried to force you to say this. But at the same time, I hope you were old enough to realize that that is not okay to say. That is actually racist. But why would your grandpa force you to do this, bro? He wants you to join the KKK? I thought they abolished that ages ago. But what did the black guy and his family do to you after you said that? Because he was with his family. That could have been, it could have been coincidentally P. Diddy. If you had said that to P. Diddy, he would have kidnapped you and brutally diddled you for the rest of your life. You're lucky it wasn't P. Diddy. And what's with the fact that it's in Milwaukee? What's so special about Milwaukee? Is this like a highly populated area with black people in Milwaukee or something? But anyways, technically it was not your fault because your grandpa sort of influenced you to say that. But yeah, that is still very questionable. You actually need some help. Yeah, you honestly need some help. When I was young, I was kinda attracted to weird things. Like one time I went into a person's house and they left me and their dog alone, and I kinda got bricked up and my dingaling went from 3 inches to infinity and beyond. But just as I was about to diddle the dog, the owner called me to come eat some food, so he saved his dog without knowing it. That's a cracker. That is a cracker. I'm kidding. No, that is horrible. Why would you do that? So you were attracted to weird things and you were attracted to the guy's dog, so you wanted to brutally diddle him. Okay, that is a very logical chain of events. No, of course that's not logical. Why would you do that? It's not okay. That is what you call bestiality. And so I guess if any of you guys have a dog in the future, never allow another human to be left alone in a room with your dog. Otherwise, 9 months later, your dog is going to give birth to a human-dog hybrid. And so you definitely need some help. There is nothing okay with being attracted to a dog. So since I have bad spine posture, I was invited to get back massages at a professional clinic, so I went there obviously. All was chill, you know, as massages should be, but sometimes it's pleasurable, sometimes hurts at some parts. But anyways, the crazy part is that the cabinet where I was given a massage was a little room, a little single room with a worker's PC and then a curtain that is not visible through it. So basically, whenever I received a back massage, my dingling would start to go crazy, but one day after the 30-year-old lady finished the massage, she went to her PC, closed the curtain, and I was like 1 meter away from her with just the curtain closed, acting like I'm putting clothes on, but in reality I gooned, and I finished it off and put a pillow over it so she wouldn't notice it instantly. But after I got out of there, I saw her going for some papers to clean up my mess, and after that day I never went to massages ever again. Bro, do you not feel guilty for that? Some random 30-year-old lady have to clean up after your mess after you released your homemade special sauce onto the massage table for the next person to lie on. Because someone else had to get a massage on that same table, like that day as well. Because otherwise she would have had to close the shop and she would have been out of business for the rest of the day. She would have missed out on a whole day's worth of revenue. But why would you do that? Like, even if your dingling feels a little bit weird, why wouldn't you just wait until you go home to do it? And she was 1 meter away from you, bro. I guarantee, even though she could not see you through the curtain, she could hear it, and she could probably smell it as well. As soon as your homemade special sauce left your body, she could probably smell that. She would have smelled that from me, like from 10 meters away. She didn't even have to be 1 meter away. That would have stunk so bad. But anyways, yeah, obviously there is already something wrong with you. You need some help. This is not normal behavior. Stop doing this, and I'm glad you never went and got a massage ever again. Hi, I'm Lily, but you can call me Foofy. So basically, I have Jujutsu Kaisen plushies. All characters from Gojo to Sukuna. So I gave one to my best friend's older brother to use because he wanted to. The plushie I gave him was the one of Megumi Fushiguro. My best friend is also a boy who loves Megumi from JJK. But guess what? No, he didn't steal it. He didn't cuddle it. My best friend's older brother freaking released his homemade special sauce on the Megumi Fushiguro plushie just to make my best friend jealous. I threw that plushie away and I got a new one with me and my best friend's savings combined. But anyways, my best friend threw a punch at his older brother's face and we went back to normal after I cried. That plushie was now gone. And yes, I did actually cry over a plushie. Okay, why would your brother do that? Why would your best friend's older brother do that? How was that his first thought? So I assume he did not, release his homemade special sauce on the plushie. I think he may have released it into the Megumi plushie. Because let's just remind ourselves what Megumi looks like. I bet he stuck his dingling into this fatty and just released his homemade special sauce into him. Maybe he started like this and then 9 months later he ended like this after he got pregnant. What type of friends do you have? Like, even though it was your best friend's older brother, what type of older brother does that? I don't know whether, it could be some sort of genetic thing. And so maybe your best friend is just waiting to brutally diddle you as well. And so honestly, if I was you, I would probably, stay away from your best friend and his older brother, and I would never speak to him ever again, because there's no way that doesn't run in the family. But you should have asked the older brother to pay for a new plushie, because it's not like you're gonna take it back after there's, someone's white sauce on it. So yeah, your best friend's older brother needs some help. I think honestly, you are pretty calm, I think, but yeah, his best friend's brother, your best friend's brother needs some help. So when I was in middle school, I invented this game. Basically, I would be home alone watching the window, and whenever a black bird came out, those are rare in my neighborhood, I would take a DRUG and L the N-word. Sadly, there were too many blackbirds, so while I was on my DRUG, I crawled on all fours to my couch and started watching your videos instinctively and pissed myself. I also woke up in the bathtub without any pants. I also learned that I texted my girlfriend that I got kidnapped by a diddler, and apparently the bathtub wasn't even mine, so I think I literally made that lie true. Yes, when you are on DRUG, you literally do anything but don't remember. But why would you scream the N-word? You screamed that before you even took the DRUG. And so what prompted you to say that? You can't blame the DRUG for making you say that. All you can blame is your own racism. What type of game is this? Whenever a blackbird comes out, you scream the N-word and take a DRUG? Like, what is wrong with you? But anyways, do not do the DRUG-esque, okay? If you're watching this video, do not ever do DRUG. And so I think I'm gonna have to rank this as you might need some help. Yeah, you need a bit of help. I once found a photo of a gorgeous young woman in her 20s with blue eyes and black curly hair. I could not stop thinking about this photo, so I decided to bring it into my room and goon to it. Little did I know that girl was my mother. Needless to say, I continued to goon to it. Okay, I think I've heard a similar story to this before. I've heard a similar story. Although with the other person, they did not continue to goon to it, even when they found out it was their mother. You're gonna goon to this even though you know it's your mother? Bro, what the frick is wrong with you? This is your mother. This person birthed you. You came out of this person's lasagna, and now you want to stick your dingling into that same lasagna. Because with the other person, as soon as he figured out that it was his mother, he threw it in the bin, I think. I think he stopped gooning to it. And so you need some help. You actually need some help. You need to stop gooning to your own mother. One time I was with my cousin and we were in his personal pool. I decided it was a good idea to take a poop in the pool, and I picked up the poop off the pool floor and proceeded to rub it on my cousin. And then I decided it was a good idea to put some on the walls too. My parents and me were charged $1,000 after my aunt filed a police report. Bro, I really do not blame the aunts either. Even if it's family, even though it's family in this situation, I would personally file a $1,000 police report as well. Because who does that? Who, like, first of all, who poos in a pool? And second of all, who picks up their own poo off the floor of the pool and rubs it on their own family member? Because you're gonna get it all over your hands as well. That is disgusting. Like, isn't that assault? Like, if I was the cousin, I would file charges. I would try to press charges for assault. That is not nice. And then putting it on the walls as well, so you're just gonna make it even harder for them to clean it already. They're gonna have to drain the whole pool because of that. And so honestly, the aunt should have charged you $10,000, like $9,000 for traumatic damages like PTSD for the cousin, and then $1,000 to clean the walls of the pool. And so you actually need some help. You genuinely need some help. How old were you when this happened? I hope you were like 5 years old or something. I hope this wasn't when you were like 18 or 19 years old you did this. I was gooning so hard the other night, full focus mode, candles lit, headphones on, socks off, but out of nowhere, my stomach hits me with the urge. I started panicking and tried running to the toilet. Spoiler, I didn't make it. I tripped over my own pants and slipped. I ended on the floor half naked with a poo stain on the rug and my laptop still playing some cursed video with a Japanese voice screaming Yamate on max volume. Okay, what the frick is full focus mode? What is your gooning focus mode? Candles lit, headphones on, socks off? What do you mean candles lit? You're gonna go to the effort of buying a candle and lighting it up in your room? I don't think I've ever in my entire life gooned with a candle lit. This is next level. This is just so unnecessary. But anyways, this is a rookie mistake. That's why you always gotta do a poo and a wee before you goon, just in case you feel the urge mid-goon. So now you have a nice poo stain on your rug to remind you of this memory, your core memory. This is gonna be a core memory. Maybe this is God's way of messing with you because you're watching some random Japanese like anime corn type thing. And so yeah, this is honestly it's pretty calm. I don't really see anything wrong with this apart from the fact that you're lighting candles. Yeah, this is mostly calm. I would love the frick out of Sadra from Honkai Star Rail. I bet her lasagna feels so good, so soft, I would let her ride me for hours on end while I massage her sussy feet. I would then let her peg me with her strap and call me a good boy. Her voice is so soothing, so sussy. I would let her claim me like the sussy woman she is. She is my emperor, my short queen, my short wife. I would let her do anything to me. Okay. I have no idea what this person looks like, but now I need to search up what this person looks like. Oh my god, okay. You need to calm down. So this is someone from like Genshin Impact or something. Bro, I think you might be a little bit too obsessed. I think this is becoming unhealthy. Like, you're getting too descriptive with it. Like, way too descriptive. You bet her lasagna feels so good, so soft. Jesus, you need to chill. You want her to peg you and call you a good boy. Okay. I mean, to be fair, if I ever met like an actual like S-tier baddie, I wouldn't mind if she called me a good boy. But yeah, anyways, ultimately you need some help. Potentially get out. I think actually, you know what? I think you actually need to get out. Just get the frick out of here. Get out. When I was 7, I would have this special routine every time I shower. I would piss in my dad's mouthwash lid, the thing you use as a little cup, put it in the shower, and dump it and put it back for absolutely no reason. Okay, that is definitely a special routine. That's definitely a special routine. But I mean, why would you do that to your own dad? Like, that is your own dad. You're pissing in the cup that he has to drink from when he's washing his mouth. And I guarantee when you were 7 years old, that was the last time you saw your father. After that, your father may or may not have, you know, left to grab some milk and never returned. And so yeah, this is definitely not normal. This is slightly questionable. Potentially you might need some help, but I'm just gonna say you're 7 years old, it's slightly questionable. I was about 15 years old at the time when I was on a train alone coming back home from the shopping center. The train was basically empty except for one random woman. We sat together and my intrusive thoughts won. I started genuinely licking her arms, and you know what? I'm gonna stop here. You would understand. And she just smiled and looked like she was content. This lasted for like 5 minutes before my stop arrived. This is not a joke or a lie. This actually happened when I was like 15 years old in year 10. Basically, no one was there and we were close, so it wasn't clear what I was doing. God damn though. Bro, I think that actually counts as assault. You can't be going on a train, especially at 15 years of age, on a train licking someone's arm. If someone licked my arm on a train, I might pull out one of these and just chop their tongue off and eat it. Because you're 15 years old. You're 15. It's not like you're 5 years old. If you were 5, then maybe I would understand. Like maybe you have brain damage or something. But 15, you already know what is right and what is wrong. You're almost 18 years old. And I bet she was extremely scared. Even though she looked content, inside she was probably like pooing herself. She probably thought she was about to get diddled, like absolutely diddled after that train ride, but technically she did get diddled. I'm pretty sure licking someone is a form of diddling. So yeah, you need some help. This is not okay. How could you think this is okay at 15 years of age? You need help. So there's a person on VR chat that I really love. I do anything for him, and I mean anything. And if he doesn't answer me, I start to cry. So I always like to stalk his account and wait until he gets on, and as soon as he does, like 1 millisecond, I get on as soon as I see him on. And my heart beats so much when I be with him. He also told me I act like classic Amy to him because I'm obsessive. Bro, you did not need to clarify in brackets that you are obsessive. I could already tell based on this tiny little paragraph over here. So let me get this straight. It's a dude on VR chat. You've never even met him in real life. You don't even know what he looks like. You can only see his voice and hear his appearance. Like, you don't know whether this dude could be some random 40-year-old creep with a massive neck beard and is massively overweight with type 2 diabetes. And you say you do anything for him, like anything. Okay, so let me guess. You do the E-Hawk tour to him. That is very strange. Like, keep in mind, this guy is most likely a 40-year-old dude with a neck beard living in his mom's basement. And you're so obsessed with him that you start to cry whenever he doesn't answer you. Bro, he actually has you on a dog leash. I hope you've actually met this person in real life before. That is, like, very creepy. Like, the more I think about it, like, the more creepy it gets. But also, you are a little bit creepy yourself. You stalk his account, and whenever he gets on, you're always on. Like, even 1 millisecond. So you always have, like, a third monitor on your PC. You have a second monitor in your setup, and you always have VR chat on, waiting for him to get on. I bet you have notifications for when he gets on. Instead of having, post notifications whenever I post a YouTube video, you have notifications for whenever your crush gets on VR chat. That is a little bit strange. I don't know who Classic Amy is, but I assume I can already imagine what Classic Amy might be. And so honestly, I think the answer is very obvious. Like, you need some help. You actually, like, no offense, of course, but you might need some help. This is not normal behavior, and you actually need to figure out who this dude is. I guarantee he's some random 40-year-old, like, living in his mom's basement. So when I was in 5th grade, there was a girl that really, really liked me. Like, she was yandere obsessed with me. One day when I was using the bathroom and taking a dump, she came in and slipped a love letter under my stall. And it turns out she was following me the whole time. She also followed me to every class and just stared at me with her eyes open the whole time without saying anything. She also wrote about me and had every single fact about me in her journal, probably by eavesdropping. So I didn't think much of it until I rejected her one day, very kindly. But a week later, she sent an email to me saying she knows my exact house location. She then started accusing me of harassing her, and so I got called into the office a lot. Damn, I mean, for a 5th grader, that would be pretty traumatizing to have to go through. So you have a stalker, like a serial stalker, and the fact that she knows every single detail about you in a journal, yeah, that is definitely not normal behavior. If I was you, bro, I might, like, I don't know, tell my parents and get them to file some sort of, like, police report, because I think this might be a crime. The fact that, like, she's even going into the men's bathroom to slip a love letter underneath the store as you're doing a poo, like, that is next level. Like, I cannot imagine anyone ever doing that, except for, some future serial killer. But yeah, honestly, I feel like, first of all, you need to move house. You need to sell your house, move location. And second of all, yeah, of course, you need to move school. Like, get away from that person. She is not normal. So yeah, I think you're fine. You're probably calm. But the girl, that yandere girl, she might need some help, like, genuinely.